friends, happy Wednesday. My name is Laura Milligan and I am coming to you live from Canton, Ohio in my studio that I call the Bee Spot. So thank you for joining me today. I have two really pretty cards that I'm going to make with kind of a fall vibe. So I think you'll enjoy them. They were fun to make. A couple announcements before we get started. Well, first of all, thank you for watching. If you're watching on replay, I appreciate you as well. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what the last card was that you made and sent to someone. Was it a birthday card? Get well card? Thinking of you. I'm just curious. What kind of card was the last card that you sent lately? That would be kind of fun to see. Just something different. So say hi if you're there. If you're watching on replay, just reply replay, but let me know what card you've made recently. I'd love to know. I'm just waiting, giving this a second for people to hop on. Okay, there we go. Sometimes it just takes a minute. There's Mary Jo. Hi, Mary Jo. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. First of all, I wanted to let you all know, and I will remember to say this at the end as well, but tomorrow we have a one-day stamp sale, and it is stamps and tools. And I was not sure, so it's 15% off stamps and tools. I wasn't sure what they meant by tools, because we have a lot of tools, of course, that we use when we're stamping, but what they're referring to are our clear blocks, which we call like a lot of people call them the Cadillac of blocks. They are the best, I think, in the industry. At least I think so. It also includes 15% off grid paper, which is the big pad of paper that a lot of people use to stamp on. I know I use it all the time when I'm stamping and also for my classes. It's like kind of like a big placemat. It has grid lines on it. It's a really good thing. Masking paper is on sale. The clear blocks, I think, was the biggest thing. Our Stampin' Scrub, I believe, was on that list. But so that sort of thing. So don't miss it. 15% off, one day only, starting, I think it's like tonight at 11:59 Mountain Time, or 12 o'clock Mountain Time, I should say. And it goes through all day tomorrow till like midnight. So let me go ahead and switch my camera view down. Hi, Myra, how are you? Okay, let's do this. Okay, so I am making two cards today featuring the Branching Out bundle, and this is the current class to go that I'm offering. I do these every month with my demonstrator friend Sherry from Canada. She designed, for this particular one, she has designed 3 cards. I have designed 3 cards, and so it's 6 different cards. You get, with this class, you get designer paper, you get some twine, you get gems, and then of course the card kits to make each of the cards. And we also do a PDF that you can print out, and we do videos showing you how to assemble each of these cards. So it's kind of like you're in our craft room stamping right along with us. And so I am featuring this for this month, Branching Out Card Class to Go. Registration for this closes a week from tomorrow. So you have a little more than a week to register. I like this bundle because it's pretty versatile. It's not just for fall. It's like fall, winter. The greetings are like birthday wishes. Excuse me. There's a hello sent with lots of love. So it's kind of a good versatile bundle to have. And I'm sorry, I feel like I'm about to sneeze. I hope I don't. I'm so sorry. Let me get a drink of my my apologies. Okay, so let me first show you. Hi Cookie, how are you? Good, thanks for joining in today. So this is the Branching Out bundle that is just from our mini catalog. But you can see the greetings are thinking of you, brings joy to my heart, from our family to yours, hello, friend. I always love that one. I love hello and friend because you can use that on so many different cards. Happy birthday wishes sent with lots of love to a very special someone, and wishing you a day filled with many happy moments. let me bring in the stamp set because sometimes I think it's easier and better to see it life size. So here it is, life size. I know you're not in person, but I think it's easier to see. Look at the fonts. I think they're really great. And then these are the dies. The dies are awesome. And as you can see, the star of the show, at least in my opinion, are these label shape dies. And you can use them. I know I made a card. I think it might have been it was when I was leading up to the release of the mini catalog. And I used these to create a frame on one of the cards that I shared with you. And these are awesome. And then there are 3 little shape dies with like my favorite is the little pine cone. I'm going to be using that today. I love that pine cone. I'm using the Autumn Trois paper. It's in the holiday catalog as well. It is gorgeous. And I know I've showed you this before too, but I'm going to show it to you again. Hi Terry, how are you? Love the fox on this. Love this one. The little pumpkin patch. See, corn stalks, pumpkins, all of that. This one has birds, the pheasants, and just some kind of some greenery, really pretty. And then this one, which is also really pretty. This paper pack is a little bit different. They have 4 different designs. Normally we have 6 different designs and you get 2 sheets of each, but for this pack of paper, it's 4 different designs and you get 3 of each. So let's flip it over and look at the back side. So really pretty, some subtle patterns, stripes, a plaid, the greenery. Oh, you were up north, lucky, up north in Michigan. Lucky you, Terry. I'm sure it was gorgeous there. Okay. So let me start with card number 1. Okay. Now what I want to tell you as I'm making this, let me get these pieces here. Okay, so here's my little parts and pieces. And I wanted to show you, let me pull this in here to show you. So I did this, I just posted this morning. It was a card that I created and I posted it on my blog, and there was a tutorial included. And so you can go to my website, which is lauramilligan.com, and you will see this post for this tutorial. And there's a picture of the card, a couple pictures of the card, and then the measurements are included in the blog post, and then the step-by-step tutorial. I offer these free. I do these every once in a while. I try to do them weekly. Sometimes it's more than that, sometimes it's less, but it's a great resource and you don't have to buy it. I give it to you for added inspiration and just to show my appreciation for all of you and for the support that you give me. So be sure to check that out. Here's my little cute little pine cone. All right, so for this first card, I am kind of showcasing the dies. Really more than the stamp set on this one. So I have a thick basic white card base. I'm going to add a piece of this Autumn Trois DSP. I'm using the back side. I really love these foxes, but I'm going to use the back side for this. And I think when I shared this with you before, I mentioned that Sarah Douglas, Stampin' Up! CEO, had shown a video. She was in the office in Riverton, Utah, and looked out, and in the parking lot there was a fox running around, and it was so pretty. It had the prettiest tail, just like these do in this DSP, and it made me think of that. When I see this DSP now, I'm always going to think about that fox running around Stampin' Up! Outside, not inside. Okay, so I'm going to start with this, and then I have taken these dies, and I had a piece of DSP, and let me see which size is this. Yeah, it's this size. So I cut this, and I actually made a boo-boo. Originally I had cut I was following my own tutorial and I made a boo-boo, but I had cut one size bigger than I wanted. And so all I did was I took the piece of DSP and the bigger one that I had cut, the bigger shape, and I just cut this little one, and it left me with this perfect frame. So I'm going to save this. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to use that for something on the inside. And I'm going to just go ahead and glue this down. Actually, this looks kind of pretty like this too, doesn't it? That's pretty. But again, I'm going to use the opposite side. And I'm just going to center this like this. So that's how it's going to start. And then I'm going to take, I used a smaller one of the dies, and I am going to eventually end up putting this piece right here, and I'm just going to set, whoops, I got sticky fingers already. I'm just going to set this here for a minute, and I'm going to add my greeting. And for this one, I'm going to use hello. Hi, Tanae. And I love the font of this hello. And I'm just putting this here so that I know where I want to stamp my greeting. Isn't that pretty? I love that font. I think that's great. Okay, so now I'm going to just glue this little strip. So I don't know, I don't see any comments. I see lots of comments, but I'm just wondering, what's the last card you made? What have you been working on? Birthday? Thinking of you? Sympathy? Okay. Now I'm going to take these little sprigs, and my pine cone I cut out of Early Espresso cardstock. I have cut this small little sprig out of gray granite, and then this one I cut out of this DSP, which is this piece. And really, I probably could have cut that die if I was trying to save paper. I could have cut this right out of the center of this because it is going to be covered up with this white panel, but I had a scrap, and so I just used my scrap. So I am going to take my sprigs, and I'm just going to use one of these. So I'm just going to cut that down a bit. And I'm just going to kind of layer these together, make a little cluster. And then I'll put my pine cone. Love the detail on the pine cone. It's so, so cute. And I'm just going to flip this over, and I am going to use a mini dimensional. Okay, Myra's working on fall cards for a friend. That's good. That sounds good. I want to make sure this dimensional does not show. Okay, Terry made a card from the Garden Gate kit, which I love that kit. It is gorgeous. And a few sympathy cards. Yeah, I mean, we all need those at times, and I actually need to send a couple sympathy cards to some people. Okay, so we have this here, and I'm just going to put this, I'm just going to sort of angle that like that. And that's the only dimension I'm going to add. I just have the dimensionals tucked behind the pine cone so you can't see them. This is popped up. It doesn't bother me that, like, I don't, as you know, I don't always stick things down. Like, I don't care if it's, you know, got that added dimension. I actually really like that. Okay, and then I have, let me see, where did I put it? Things are buried alive. I was running extremely late today. Hold on. I was running like really late today, and I think it's just been, oh, there it is. It's just been a morning. What can I say? So this twine that I'm using, it's a double pack, and it was new in the mini catalog. There's Old Olive and Early Espresso, so I'm using the Early Espresso for this card. You could also use linen thread. And I'm just going to cut a bit and make a little bow. Oh, Debbie, you're so sweet. I'm sure he really appreciates that. I was talking to some friends the other day, and just about they were asking me about my business and asking me about the cruise that Janice and I are hosting and the future ones that we're hosting. And I said, you know, I am so grateful, so very grateful that this is what I get to do. Like, I get up every day and I get to be creative. And of course I have my dear friends, Sandra and Renee, that come and I get to work with them. And that's such a blessing in itself. So I am very thankful, and I sure appreciate all of you supporting me and watching, and I feel very, very blessed. Okay, so this is just going to be popped up with some dimensionals. Hi, Pat. How are you? Hi, Anne-Marie. So some of you are just tuning in. I want to mention we have, for 24 hours, tomorrow only, a 15% off stamp sale. So if there are some stamps that you've had your eye on, I know Colleen mentioned she's already making her list and putting things in her cart, and then the sale price will be reflected tomorrow once the sale goes live. So you can shop ahead. Just don't finalize the order till tomorrow, right? Okay, so let me find, I guess I don't have, okay, I'm just gonna go with this. I am using the little dots. These are, let me look at the name to make sure I say the right thing, neutral matte dots. And I'm just gonna put through 3 of these together. Just kind of line those up. See if I can get them straight. Whoops, that was not quite straight. I need to look at it from this angle to see. Yep, these look pretty good. Okay. So there's the front of my card. It's pretty simple, but I think it's a gorgeous fall card. I would love to I always think, like, I never make a card that I wouldn't want to send to somebody, and I would love to receive this and send it to somebody. So okay, and then for the inside, since I told you about my little boo-boo and I had this frame left, I just thought what I would do is glue this on the inside, and then you can write your message in there. It might be a little bit shorter, but sometimes that's okay. So I'm just going to dab some glue on the back of this. Let's see if I can get this straight, sort of straight. Okay, so there we have that and that. And what I could do, and I did not cut one ahead of time, but you could take, you know, a sprig, another gray granite sprig, and tack that on there. That would be really pretty as well. And then I have a piece that I've cut for the envelope, and this measures, well, you know what, I wrote it down, but it's about 5 7/8 by 2 1/4. And I'm just going to glue this on the flap. And you know how normally when I do this, and what I've taught you is to glue your DSP on the flap and then just take your paper snips and trim around the shape of the envelope so that you get, you know, the actual shape of the envelope. But what I started doing is just lining this up like this and just leaving it like that. I think that looks really pretty. It's perfectly straight. It fits the flap really well. There's still enough adhesive on there, of course, you know, to seal it. And I think it just is a great way to kind of step up your card. So that's that. And then honestly, what I could do with this, whoops, flying away from me. You literally, if you would glue this down really well, you could glue this on the front of your envelope and maybe do some stamping. But this is where, of course, you would put your address, and that would be a really fun envelope to receive in the mail with a gorgeous card enclosed, right? So that would be kind of fun. I know that, gosh, I'm sure it's been over a year ago. I did a whole Facebook Live on all the different things you can do with envelopes, and this would be a great idea. Okay, so I'm going to set this one here for a second, and now I have my second card. This one is really simple. Well, it's not that simple, I guess, but it's a lot of white on it, and if you know me, you know I like a lot of white on my cards. Starting with the thick white card base, and I have done some die cutting. This again is the back side of one of the designer series papers. It's this pretty one, which I love. I have some stampers coming, well, today and tomorrow, and we're going to be using this paper. So, and then I cut a circle from the stylish shaped dies. I have some sprigs here from these dies. I have this one again, which I really like. And then I had to do a pine cone again, of course. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to bring in a scrap paper here. Let's see. Just bring this one in. And I'm going to start by taking this sprig. I'm actually only going to need one. I'll set that aside. This is Cherry Cobbler Blend, and this is light cherry cobbler. And I'm just going to color on this sprig and make some red berries. Now there is a stamp in this set that will make berries for you. I love the cards that are included in this class to go that Sherry and I designed. It's a good one, people. I think you would like it, and I've really enjoyed pulling out these fall colors and papers and the leaves and all of that. This time of year, it's been nice to start making fall cards. So I'm going to go ahead and color all the way down, making little berries. So today we are working on, well, a lot of different things. We're all over the place. But the big thing we're working on is preparations for our holiday retreat that is a week from Saturday. So we are excited about that. It's going to be really fun. We've got some great projects that we're making and a great group of people coming. So it's always fun. Looking forward to that. But so I've got this, and I'm going to just cut it. I'm going to get my paper snips and just cut this about right here. And I'm just going to follow the shape of the berries. There we go. So now I have 2 sprigs. Okay. So now we're just going to go ahead and put this together. So I started by embossing. This is 4 by 5 1/4. This is a new embossing folder, and it is so pretty. And you've seen me use this before. It's the Gathering Leaves embossing folder. It's part of an online exclusive suite, but it makes like these teeny tiny little sprigs, or like leaves. I would call them sprigs. I guess they could be called leaves as well. But so I'm going to start with this. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down on my card front. This is just 4 by 5 1/4. So we should what's on your wish list? What stamp sets are you thinking about? When we have this sale, what I look at, first of all, are word stamp sets that I've maybe had my eye on. I think it's always a great time to buy those. I know one of the things I'm going to buy, this is our little online exclusive brochure, and there's a set in here. here it is. I missed it the first time through, and it is called Etched Autumn Cling. It is it's one of the big background stamps. And like I said, because I love fall so much, I love this. I think there's a lot that you could do with this Etched Autumn. It's just a big background of all kinds of different leaves, almost like you're walking down the sidewalk in the fall, and you walk through the leaves and there's all kinds of different ones because the wind has blown them. That's one of the things I'm going to order tomorrow. And then I want to look at some word sets as well. So, okay, I'm going to take this next. This is pretty neutral with a little bit of pop of the cherry cobbler. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this. Hi, Marianne. Oh, I didn't know. That was nice. She says, Sue Canfield mentioned you on her live last night. Ah, well, that was sweet. She is a very nice lady. A lot of nice stampers. I think the qualification for being a stamper is for the most part, you have to be a nice person. Okay. Then this panel's going to go on next, and I did pop this up with dimensionals. I'll just put one in the middle here. Like this. Okay. Before I do anything else, then I'm going to take my basic black blend and I'm going to do some flecking. This has a lot of white on it, and I just thought it would be good to kind of break it up a little bit. So I'm going to bring in this pad again. I could take one of the sheets off, but I'm just going to do it like this. I'm just going to put this here, and I am using the brush tip. I love doing this, the flecking, and I'm just going to add some color. This is, like I said, basic black. Just add some color to this. It just sort of breaks it up and adds some interest. Plus, it's if you've had a stressful day, you can really whack away on the blending, on the Stampin' Blend, and I guarantee it'll make you feel better. Get your frustrations out that way, right? Okay, so we have that. Now I'm just going to do some layering here. I'm going to start with this piece. I'm going to add just a dab of glue. Could put a dab of glue behind that, like that. And then I'm going to take these two branches that I colored, and seems like I've buried one alive. Uh-oh. This is how the day has been. What can I say? It's probably like on the floor. Where is it? Did you ever have, this is how literally you guys, this is everything today. Like my printer wouldn't work. I just had it and cut it in half. Well, I'm going to just go ahead and, that is crazy. Maybe I should stand up and see if it's on my lap. No, I don't see it. Well, okay, so I'm just going to tuck these under here. I wanted to do two, but apparently I don't have to, so we'll kind of wing it, right? You guys bear with me here. We're going to just do something a little bit different. When I'm all done, I'll find it. It's not stuck to my glue bottle. That's a good place to look. My gosh, I tried to get my printer to print today, and I tried and tried. And in the scheme of life, it's a dumb thing because it didn't really matter. And it did finally work, but it took me about 20 minutes to get the printer to print something. Okay, so we have that there like that. And then I'm going to just use this, and I'm going to use the word that says sent with lots of love. So this card, even though it does not say with sympathy, or something like that, would be, I think it would be a really pretty sympathy card. And like I said, I have 2 that I need to send, so maybe I will use this for that. Okay, and then I'm gonna get my early espresso twine again, make a bow. Trim this, and I'm going to use a glue dot and tack this under my words. Just like that, and then I'll go ahead and pop this up. I will let you know if I ever find that piece of, the other piece of this sprig. Huh? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I know as soon as I'm done, I'll find it here. I could almost adjust this a little bit and make it work, and then I had to put, you know what I might do instead? I'm just gonna put this here. There we go. I'm just going to do that. This is not, I'll show you my original one and then what it was supposed to look like, but I actually, you know what, I might like this way a little bit better. I had to put a pine cone on it because the pine cone's my favorite part, my favorite die, even though I love the label dies. Yeah, I'm just going to tack this here like that. I think that looks pretty. And then I'm going to add some gems. I keep picking up things thinking that it's stuck to something. That branch is stuck to something, but it isn't. And I'm just gonna put these here. Very subtle, a lot of neutrals on this card with just that little pop of cherry cobbler. Okay, so there we have, very, very simple, right? But I think it's really, really pretty. And originally I had done, you know what I might do? Here we go. I'm gonna just pull this out of my sample because I don't care. All right, I'm just going to pull this out from my sample card and I'll just tack this because I feel like it needs it. It's not enough without this. And I'm just going to tuck this back here like this, and it just gives it some height then. There we go. Okay, don't you think that looks better? I think it needed that. Okay, hi Wendy, how are you? Hi, Suzanne, how are you? Oh, Myra, and Myra's coming from Kentucky to come to the retreat. I'm so excited. Can't wait to see her. So this is my second card, excuse me. And then on the inside, gosh, there's a lot of different things. But like I said, I think this would be a beautiful sympathy card. So let me pull both of these in. Do you have a favorite? Who would you send this card to? These cards to, this one or this one? Can you see yourself using this as a sympathy card? I think in the fall it would be really, really perfect. And then let me show you, of course, the flap of the envelope. Again, this is the branching out bundle that's in the mini catalog. And I'm going to mention this again. I'm going to bring my graphic in. I am offering a class to go this month. It's 6 different cards. There's 6 cards you've never seen before. These would be 2 additional cards. If you participate in this class, you could make these cards as well. But the 6 cards in the class are totally different. They are gorgeous. It's one of my favorite ones. And I know I say that every time, but it's true. I feel like every time our cards just keep getting better and better. So don't miss out on this. There will be another registration email going out. Perhaps tomorrow, and registration closes a week from tomorrow, so you have a week. The big news though for tomorrow, and I'm going to go ahead and change my view. The big news for tomorrow is 15% off all stamp sets and tools. And by tools, I'm going to tell you this again because I wasn't sure what that meant. I didn't know, because I think of tools sometimes could be punches, dies, that sort of thing. What they're referring to are all the stamps are 15% off, stamp sets, and then the blocks. So all of our clear blocks. Here's one. This is the C block, but all the blocks are 15% off. And the grid paper that I mentioned, the masking paper, I know, excuse me, the Stampin' Scrub is on the list, which we use that all the time. That's kind of what I prefer to use when I'm cleaning my stamps. I have one right here. So it's this, and you get, there's 2 different pads. You use the Stampin' Mist, and I can't remember if the Stampin' Mist was on the sale. It might be, but you spray one side, clean off your stamp, of course, and then you dry it off on the other side. But I've used this, and they last for years and years and years. So that's my favorite way to clean my stamps. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a great day. This was, it made me feel really happy to be with you today and share these cards. So I hope that you've enjoyed them as well. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Have fun shopping. Get your wish list out for that stamp sale. And I will see you probably next week on Wednesday again. I look forward to that. I have no idea what I'm going to be making. Sometimes I get up on Wednesday mornings and figure it out. I kind of did that today. But it's all good. It's all good. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me, my friends. And I will look forward to seeing you next time. As always, I hope you have time to be creative today. Take care. Bye-bye.